Okay, hi, I'm Nick. So we go to a commuter school. I assume most of you drive. Does anyone know what the chances of being in a fatal car crash is within a year for you guys? It's about 1 in 7,200. Does anyone know what that same statistic would be in Germany? No? It's about 1 in 11,000, and they get to go at unlimited speeds on the Autobahn. So my major claim is that the United States has significantly worse drivers than most wealthy European countries due to inferior drivers' education and training. My supporting claims are that 1, European drivers are better, more safe than American drivers. 2, better driver training leads to better drivers. And 3, European countries have better driver training programs than the United States. So that first claim is pretty easy to prove. Drivers in well-developed European countries have significantly lower accident rates than American drivers. For every 100,000 registered vehicles, the United States had 12.9 fatalities. The United Kingdom had 5.1 and Finland had 4.4. This is all in 2013. And I chose the UK and Finland because they're both good examples of European countries that are known for their fairly strict driver training. So my second, in addition, those statistics are from the World Health Organization. In addition, the Center for Disease Control ranks the United States #1 in fatalities among wealthy countries. In their recent Vital Signs publication, they referred to driving in the United States as a serious public health issue. My second point is that driver's training has a significant positive effect on driver safety. So the National Highway Traffic Safety Association has done several studies on this, on the implementation of a GDL program, that's graduated driver's license. It's essentially just the process through which you would earn your learner's permit, provisional permit, and then your full license. And they found, because we decide driver's education at a state level, in states that implemented a fully featured GDL program, fatalities among young drivers ages 16 to 17 decreased by about 18 to 21%, depending on the actual state. In addition, it's difficult to get hard numbers on this, but many insurance companies give discounts to those who enroll in driver's education and defensive driving courses, presumably because those courses result in fewer accidents and therefore fewer insurance payouts. My third point is that most well-developed European countries have more rigorous driver training programs than the United States. So as I said, here we have graduated driver licensing laws. The laws themselves are pretty similar to those in a lot of European countries. There are various minimum ages to earn your learner's permit. They range from 14 to 16, depending on the state. And in addition to that, you need to take a written theory test, which is fairly short, generally 20 to 40 questions. And it's multiple choice. After that, you get your learner's permit, and at that point, you can begin training for your provisional license test. Generally, states require 30 to 50 hours of training with a licensed individual. Let's see. In Great Britain, the minimum age is 15 and 9 months to apply for a provisional license. The wording is a bit different. That's actually the equivalent of our learner's permit. They're able to do that by passing a significantly more difficult written theory test. It's longer, and it includes questions both on traffic laws and technical information about controlling the vehicle, like how to use anti-lock brakes properly, how to engine brake, that sort of thing. And it should be noted that it has a 5% lower pass rate than our written test here in California. They must also pass a video-aided hazard perception test. After that, they may only drive in a car with specific learner's plates and, of course, a licensed driver. The provisional license lasts 2 years. They have to wait at least until they're 17 to actually take their full driver's test, the practical test, which includes both a longer actual test. Here it's generally 20 to 30 minutes. There it'll be 30 to 50 minutes, and more technical questions on certain aspects of driving safety. In addition, certain specific vehicles, like cars with a manual transmission, will require specific licenses and instructors. In Finland, which is really strict, relatively speaking, one has to be at least 17. They have to spend at least 18 hours driving with an instructor. That includes night driving. They have to take 19 theory lessons, take a slippery driving course because it snows and there's a lot of ice and snow up there. They have to pass a theory test and then pass a practical test. After that, they earn their provisional license, which lasts 2 years, after which they would normally earn their full license if they don't get to traffic infractions. If they do, they'll have to take the practical test again, and that is extended by another 2 years. And if they have 1 or 2 infractions, it could still be potentially extended 2 years, so they don't have to retake the test. So in conclusion, statistics clearly show that improved driver training can lead to improved driver safety, and accident rates among wealthy countries correlate heavily with the robustness of their driver training programs. It's not a coincidence that the United States has both the worst drivers and the worst driver's education.
Nick, did you have something you were going to give me now, or is it just you're going to have to bring it next time?
I'll email you the
Okay. Don't email it. Bring it.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, the proposition's clear. It's a little awkwardly phrased because it does have like this cause-effect argument in it, but there's like 2 parts to the causality that you're presenting, so that complicates it a little bit. It could probably be simplified a bit. The secondary points are laid out for us pretty clearly. You do preview that, so I appreciated that. And when you got to the body of the speech, you signposted those very clearly, so it's relatively straightforward and easy to follow. There's a lot of explanation on each of the points, and that's one of the things that I think is a minor problem with the issue, is that it feels a lot like I'm getting a description of what the tests are like without as much argument about how that makes a difference. I think that there is an argument that says that driving tests make a difference, or that training makes a difference. That's that second point that you've got, but the difference in these tests is what makes the difference in the results in these other countries. That's the stuff that I think needs a little bit more information. On your second point, you're using American data about graduated driver's licenses and the fact that insurance companies give discounts with a presupposition that there is some impact of taking some sort of driver's training, and that's as close as you get to linking driver's training to these particular results. There may be other potential causes for the differential rates in accidents that you've talked about, and I did think that you had good information about the differences in the accident rates. You had some information from the CDC, you had some statistical comparisons from WHO, so I thought that was fine. Like I said, on the second point, I got a description of graduated driver's licenses. On the third point, I got a description of what the tests are in the United States and a description of what the tests are in at least 2 other countries. And that's all good information, but for instance, I think you just kind of make the assumption that there's a connection there, and I think that there needs to be a little bit more to it. For example, is the accident rate lower for people who are in that early stages of driving? I think that would be one of the things that would demonstrate that. Not that just we're looking at total accident rates, but we're especially looking at young drivers or drivers who are novice drivers, so to speak. And if you could show that the rates are substantially lower among those who have taken these kinds of training, I think that would make your argument a lot stronger. And so that's kind of the fill-in data that's missing. You've got some good information here. I just think that there are some inferences that you're making that require some more information to strengthen them. All right, I'll leave it there. Thank you.